Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Forgotten Favorites, the show we're doing throughout the month of August, each and every day, where I go through my collection and I pull out some oddities, rarities, little known or talked about releases from some known bands, unknown bands, covering hard rock, heavy metal, progressive rock, jazz, fusion, classic rock, straight jazz, all sorts of stuff, right? So, but the whole thing is, these might be some albums that are little known to the masses, but they're favorites of mine. So they're kind of forgotten, all right? In some cases, they were just so obscure that they were never known, so completely forgotten, but somehow I've stumbled upon them in my listening career, and I like them quite a bit. Or they could be bands that don't get enough attention and some really good albums by them, or a very known band that maybe has an album that nobody ever talks about, nobody seemed to care about, but I really dig quite a bit. So that's kind of what we're doing with Forgotten Favorites. So today, we're going to go, we've been sticking in the 70s for the first couple days of the month, but now we're going to shoot all the way up to 2005. A band that I like quite a bit, and a band, yes, that is on the to-do list for an album ranking. Swedish doom, stoner, hard rock band, Spiritual Beggars. Demons is the album from 2005. Okay, so this is their 6th album overall. This follows albums self-titled, Spiritual Beggars is the first album, Another Way to Shine, Mantra 3, Ad Astra, and On Fire were the first 5. Demons, of course, SPV Records Inside Out. I believe that was the reissue. I'm not sure exactly what label that was on initially, but I can double check for you right here. Released March 23rd, 2005. Toys Factory label was the original label. And recorded in between July of 2004 and April 2005. So we got about a year's worth of recording going into this particular album. This is not the original album cover. I believe this is only for the reissue on Inside Out SPV. Also released as a double disc set with a second disc of all sorts of live stuff. Very strong stuff. I'm a big fan of these guys. What I really like about Spiritual Beggars, well, first of all, founded by Michael Amott, guitarist extraordinaire, also from, he was in Carcass, but he's the main guy in Arch Enemy all these years. And he also has an affinity for like 70s style heavy rock, hard rock, that sort of thing. So he started this band, Spiritual Beggars. He loves doom too. So, think Spiritual Beggars, think a head-on collision between like Black Sabbath and Deep Purple, maybe a little Uriah Heep, throw a little Humble Pie, Led Zeppelin in there. Killer stuff, big riffs, scorching guitar solos, and always great vocals. So on this particular album, you've got on vocals a guy named, his nickname is JB. You might also know him as JB, the lead vocalist and guitarist for Grand Magus, right? So here he appeared on a couple albums with Michael Amott and company, and here is the rest of the band. Okay, so we got a little fold-out poster there. So there you got JB. JB had some hair back then, right? He generally goes for the bald look now. There's Michael Amott on lead guitars. Okay, Ludwig Whiff on drums on this album. You got Per Wiberg on keyboards. Of course, Per also played with Opeth for a bit. All right. And you've got Charlie D'Angelo on bass. Yes, that's Charlie D'Angelo, also from Arch Enemy and Merciful Fate. So great album. So this is before, so this is obviously, like I said, JB on vocals, has a really great voice. This is before the Apollo era. They've had a Greek vocalist named Apollo who came shortly thereafter, who has really knocked it out of the park as well. But this is a really strong album. It's a heavy album. There's a lot of groove on this album. Again, like I said, if you like Coverdale era, Deep Purple, so we're talking Stormbringer and Burn, those, and Come Taste the Band, mixed with mid-70s Black Sabbath. Okay, big riffs, scorching solos, amazing vocals, some great songs here. Throwing Your Life Away, absolutely killer. I love the Hammond organ too from Per Wiberg, really good. Dying Every Day has these completely wicked wah-wah riffs in it. Almost like if Robin Trower had gone heavy, like really heavy. That's what it's like, but tremendous groove. You got No One Heard is the big, moody epic that ends the album. Simmering Hammond organ, emotional, soulful vocals. Really, really good. Sleeping with One Eye Open. Cool Sabbathy vibe. These guys do that stoner thing, but it's not. It's still firmly rooted in sounds of the 70s and the early 80s, which is really cool. Just so many other great tracks on here. Treading Water is another good one. Through the Halls. Big, beefy riffs. Again, a doomy vibe, but still that kind of retro hard rock thing going on. And you got the big riffs tempered with the Hammond organ. It's a wonderful pairing, and JB's vocals are outstanding. I always loved him as a singer. He's really good. And like I said, this band has always had really, really great singers. Had a guy nicknamed Spice early on, then JB, then Apollo. All three of them just absolutely kick-ass. This is a very, very strong album. They've got a lot of strong albums. So they released 3 more after this. So it's not an immense catalog, and the last 3 have been great, man. Return to Zero, Earth Blues, and Sunrise to Sundown. That was 6 years ago. Well, 5 years ago already. Sunrise to Sundown, which is absolutely excellent. Excellent. So I really dig this band a lot. I'm looking forward to eventually getting to the album ranking, which hopefully will happen soon. But my pick today is Demons. It's right in the middle of the discography, so it doesn't get talked a lot about by fans of the band. Usually people go to either the more recent stuff or the early stuff, but I would argue that this is one of their better ones, and it's also the first one I ever got. Go figure. So 2005's Demons from Spiritual Beggars, a great 70s style heavy rock band / stoner / doom band, if you like that sort of thing, a little heavier end of the spectrum, but some nice organ and keyboards to kind of balance and give it that retro vibe. Great stuff. So check it out if you haven't. If you've never listened to these guys, this is not a bad place to start. So go check out this album wherever you sample your music. Come back and report. Let me know what you think. If you are well familiar with this album, or maybe haven't listened to it in a while, give us your thoughts. Go back and revisit it, and let's get the conversations going in the comments about Spiritual Beggars and specifically Demons. So stay tuned for another episode of Forgotten Favorites coming up tomorrow morning, where we're going to delight you, hopefully, with all sorts of stuff throughout the month that you can go check out. Bands maybe you never heard of before, or maybe some bands you haven't kind of checked out in a while. So visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Coming up today, you're probably going to get a couple of album reviews today. It is Wednesday, so it's What's Hot with Sea Tranquility Day, so stay tuned for that as well throughout the day and tonight. And subscribe if you haven't. Click on that notification bell in addition. And got the link to the Ko-Fi page if you want to make a channel donation. We also have the link to our merch page, all sorts of Sea of Tranquility stuff. Link to our website. Okay, and coming up tomorrow, Monsters Den, Chris Allen, myself, part 2 of Exploitation Films. Friday morning at the Funhouse with Martin Popoff, and then perhaps a couple things over the weekend, and we start it all over again. So thanks everybody for watching. I am Pete Pardo. We'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.